Hey, it's Greg here. In this video, we're going to measure the frame. I'm going to show you the Hellwig page on the specifications, what the measurements should be, and we're going to find that the rails are bowed out a little bit. And so I'm going to show you how I squeezed them back together, get them back at the proper spacing. And there'll be like a 30-second segment on pressure washing the frame to get it a little cleaner. Fixed my pressure washer, had to replace the carburetor, that was a pain. And I'm pressure washing again with some more super clean degreaser, and it's soaking, and of course it's another windy day. If I get the pressure washer out, it's gonna be windy, but it's actually cleaning up pretty good. Oh no, my frame dried rusty. All right, so it is dry, and yes, rust has appeared. That will happen. And I'm now measuring. Now I'm still gonna, it actually got really clean. I'm pretty happy with as clean as it did get. I may sandblast or wire wheel depending on where it is and all that. But right now I am measuring. So you have to measure your frame to make sure everything's good, and they want you to measure, I don't know if you can see in that picture, but basically crossed those and then diagonally, and they give you measurements that should be, and you should be pretty close to them. Okay, well, and by the way, the box is there because the tape measure would just fall down, and I kept it in the same place, keep the measurement correct. So here's the front. Across here we have 52 3/8. Oh, perfect. Across the middle, 53 5/8. Should be 53. So I'm plus 5/8. I need to squeeze that in. And the rear is 48 7/16. Should be, I think it was 48 and a half. Is that right? Oh. So it should be 48 and a half. And I measured 48 and 7/16. So I'm actually, yeah, I'm low 1/16 of an inch. It's narrow 1/16 of an inch. So I think that's within tolerances. However, the middle is definitely not. So what I'm going to do, so what I'll end up doing is squeezing both sides in. So it is, the other measurement from the diagonals, I was at exactly 80 inches. And by the way, these are from center of the circle. And so it was square, but it's bowed out, and that's, you know, that's what happens. And be aware on these Hellwig, when you weld these in, they're going to want to bow out from the heat of your welding. So you will get to that at a later point, but you'll be squeezing them in when you go, before you weld. So that in and of itself might, if I pull them in, well, I want to make sure, actually, I need to get them pretty close, because when you go to put that extra body mount that'll go right here on each side, you got to make sure that lines up, and if it's bowed out, that's not going to happen. So we do need to straighten those, both sides, before we move on to that. The other thing that I checked quite often, I've heard, so this right here can bend out, and so I measured from the inner shaft seat, that's right here, measured between them, and mine's 31 and 11/16 exactly, and a 68 through 72, check me on that. That's what those should be. So as far as measurements, we know we gotta squeeze the middle in, and I still gotta check for level. Here is, so Hellwig on their instructions, they have the measurements and a couple key things here. Pay attention to things like this. Here is 10 3/4, that's to the top of the frame, whereas this 9 1/4, that's actually not at the top. Another thing is sedan, convertible coupe, sedan, station wagon, pickup. So my point is, they are different. Pay attention to which line you're looking at, because the station wagon, pickup, El Camino maybe, are a little longer. Also, center line. So here at the front, 19 1/2, that's from the measurement dot, the hole, to the mid point. So if you're wanting to measure from this hole to that hole, you got to double the number, and the same applies all the way down here. It might be useful to write it down, the double measurement, right above this, because I know I'll forget and mess it up. And so I'm going to take these measurements on mine, and obviously it needs to be level when you do that. Now, one thing I noticed when I was doing this, 48 1/2 from those back ones. If I go here, I may be looking at the wrong thing, but it's 24 1/8 as half. That's 48 1/4 if you double that. Now that may, I don't know, that looks like it's right on the center of those, of the body mount. It's not much difference, 48 1/4 versus 48 1/2, but that would make mine slightly wider by a 1/16, not slightly thinner, which works in my favor, because when I go to bend these in, those may come in just slightly. Now the Hellwig kit, those are the ones that it cares about. It's not doing anything back here. Of course, this is where mine is twisted. I got to fix that. And it doesn't care anything about the horns in the front, but I do, so I want to make sure everything's good before I start the kit. So I got my measurements. Trunk. Okay, so this is kind of funny. From here to here, which is there to there, 31, and I double checked that. I have another source of this, and it's 31. Mine is 31 1/4. Now I guess I could have had the tape measure in the wrong spot a little bit, but you know, that just gives you an idea of how off the factory is. And the middle ones were a +1/4 also, and the backs were +1/4, and diagonally, oh boy, yeah, this was almost 1/2 inch too far this way, so I need to push. I should push that way to fix it. Now front, and I haven't done the twisting yet, front, so the horns, this is another one, it's kind of weird. So this is 39 inches, mine are 39 1/2. Now my core support fit fine. I have no indication that it wasn't the original and then never taken off, but mine are 1/2 inch too wide. So I need to push from that direction up to 1/2 inch on this one, because you look at the numbers, 41 5/8, 41 1/4. Now honestly, I don't think I really have to do anything with that. Oh, and I measured from the that inner seat, so there where your A-arms attach on the inside where the shims would go, and I lined it up with the first bolt, but it's really iffy. I could be a 1/8 off on my measurement, but I think I'm really close to correct there, so I think I could push that in just a little bit if I want to bother. Okay, so the only section that's actually square is the center section. Oh, and I did take the opportunity to check the measurements on all my tape measures, because this one's probably Chinese, and it was actually right, at least up to 30 something inches when I checked it. And those two may be American made. This one's pretty old too. Taiwan. Oh, there you go. Taiwan. Did I say American made? Man. That one doesn't say. That means it's Chinese made. I'm trying to use straps to straighten these out. It's at 52 inches now, but as soon as I let off the pressure, it's going to come back out. It's not working like I was hoping it would. And these are, by the way, the yellow straps that hold a lot. So yeah, be careful if you do this yourself. Don't have one break and have one of those hooks or something catch a leg. So I did, if you saw my earlier video where I straightened the frame, it was this side, and I used a chain and a bottle jack, and body was still sitting on it, and I did get it to where I could put it back under the car, but this is when I found out that it was, bowed. But if you saw the video, you know that it didn't go smoothly, as in a bolt broke and a chain went flying. There's a link to that one. All right, I wonder. Yeah, no. Okay, let me just keep working this and see what I can do. But you got to bring it back way past where you want it to stay, because it'll come back out some. I thought it was good. I got it a little less than 51.5. Whew. I don't know that I could go any farther, any tighter with these. It was just less than 51.5. And I thought I had both of them loose. Not quite. Be careful doing these. Okay, so there. I'll see this. Now this one's a little tight. All right, that ain't bad. Okay, they're both loose-ish. All right, I need something that tall. Anybody else measure stuff that way? Let's just test it. Nope, that's good. Half inch. Oh. All right, let me show you that. Half inch. Maybe a little bit, actually, past half. There we, right in the middle, I should say. Centered is the object. 53 and 3/8. Really close. We made progress, didn't we? 53 and 3/8. It was 53 and 5/8, so we brought it in 1/8. That was a lot of work to bring it in 1/8. A lot of work to bring it in 1/8. All right, something else that is actually important to accurately measure. Okay, I have this now where it should be right in the middle, and this is the edge also centered. I follow it over, and I'm gonna, since I'm measuring here, I want this centered. So guess what? We are really close. Like a 1/16, a 1/8 at the most wide. So we actually made progress. I'm a little surprised. Now guess what I'm gonna do? Yep, I'm gonna do the same thing again. Try to bring it in just a little more. And now I'm recording, but battery's going down quick. Okay, when you do this, it's square. So I want to make sure when I pull, I'm pulling square. So I don't have the straps cockeyed. Oh yeah. Okay. So you want, this is not a video on how to do this, the ratchet straps. So I'm going to try not to get too far into that, but you want these where there's enough overlap on the going around so it's not going to pull. Who's calling? All right, let's do this. Oh. So yeah, have this so that it's got enough wraps, enough winds, so that it's not going to come loose, but only enough so it's not going to come loose, so it doesn't get too thick, too wide when it's coming around. And it does help to hold it like so. Oh, I really should have it off of that dolly because the front wants to roll. Now, one of these breaks, whoo, it's gonna hurt. Ugh. Really? Make sure yours is low, is rated. For this. I told you I had to pull hard. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. "51 inches, 51. Whew. Okay, 51. That is farther than I was the first time. And let me show you this because look down. I hope it's showing on video. It's bowed in. Now, tape measure's in the way, but it's bowed in, which is good because I need it to go in, and maybe this will be enough. Okay, now, whew. Let's see where we're at. Let's just see. You think we can go one more? Oh, yep. When it's been setting, the metal will kind of adjust. Okay. I'm hearing creaking. Now, something else I did. I do not recommend this. I'm just telling you because I did it. Make sure your straps are strong. Man, that could do some damage if that broke. I actually stood on them. I'm a little leery. They're so tight now that I stood on them across both, and the first time. Now, one other thing to be aware of is when you're using straps like this, it's turning the C-channel in at the top because I'm bringing it in at the top. You might have been able to put some cardboard on the edges so that it would slide, maybe. Just something that'll let it slip, but yeah. I think we may be good at this point. Let's back it off. Now this is, don't lose a finger here, okay? So cut it here. Bring it in, okay. You gotta pull it up just enough so that it catches. Lift this one. Go to one that you can actually lift it on. Pull it. Drop it back. Catch it. Now I'm gonna go to this other one. Catch it. Catch it. Surprised it. So the first time I did this, man, it like, you could, when I'd let off, it would boom. You'd hear the metal. Okay. It's loosened up quite a bit on that one. Now this one's taut again. Oh, there was a lot of movement there. And once you get a little loose, you can move it more. So that's still taut, still stretching back. Let's try it. Okay. Look, that one's taut again. Watch this one come up as I loosen this one. All right, they're both loose. Where do you think we're at? Take a look. Centered? Yay or nay in the comments. All right, well, we're actually more than 53. I should say less. We moved it in more than 53. If I center that at 53, come over here. Well, look at that. Well, I don't hit it. It is hanging a little bit. Okay, there. Now it's that's pretty darn close. Centered. Centered. Now here's the thing. And that's loose. It's probably gonna, over the next several minutes, an hour, it's probably gonna, can't even see my hand, it's probably gonna move out a little bit. But I still need to do more straightening on the bottom. And I think, so you have two options with the front top piece on this kit. And one of those is leaving it as is, because you see this here is down, and as it comes across, it actually comes up. It's a different angle. Less of an angle, more of an angle. And you can do it like that. It's supposed to be stronger. However, there was a guy who made a post, I think it was on the Chevelle forums, about doing his, and he had some issues getting his lined up right doing this way. So he just took a hammer and knocked this down even with that other side. And he said it was actually super easy, just with a 3 to 5 pound hammer, just tapped it and it went down. I'm trying to think of how that would affect the bow. If I knock that down, I would think that should, if anything, especially since it's up here, it probably won't do anything. But it's not gonna make. I'd think that it would be more likely to bring it in than out. That's what I'm thinking. I may be off on that. Let me know in the comments. Because if I were to lift that up, that would actually, if I was to lift that up, I don't know. What do you think? You think it'll make any difference? I don't think it'll make any difference, actually. Okay. We're at 53. Good. It actually worked. At least for now. So we got the middle to 53, which is what it's supposed to be. Let's move this back one to 48 1/4, which is what the official Chevy shows, and actually the chart that Hellwig shows. This one, 48 1/4. That's where it's at. All right, so we're going to end it here, and I hope this video was helpful on straightening those C channels, those rails. I guarantee you yours are going to be wide, and when you install this kit, you have to squeeze them in a little bit anyway early on in the process. So the verse of the video, this is a good one. Revelation 20. We're going to do verses 12 and we're going to do verses 15. I try to encourage people to read their Bible. And this is why. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and the books were opened. Then another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged by what was written in the books, according to what they had done. So I saw the dead. That's all of us. That's the entire world population at any time. Every person who's ever lived. standing before the throne of God, and the books were open. Old Testament, New Testament. And another book was open, which is the Book of Life. Book of Life contains the names of all those who are saved. And the dead, that's everyone, were judged by what was written in the books. So, Christian era, that's the New Testament. We're going to be judged by what's written in the New Testament, according to what they have done. Yeah, it's not just thinking, it's what you've done. It clearly states that in the Bible in many places. And a lot of people want to ignore that. You do have to do things. You can't earn your salvation, but that doesn't mean you don't have to do good. Verse 15, and if anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, that's the book with all the names of the saved written in it, he was thrown into the lake of fire. Hell. That's where those whose names are not written in the book of life will end up. Now you see why I'm trying to get people to read their Bibles. It's for your soul. All right. I thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, I'm going to give you a little hint at what's coming in the future. I picked this up this weekend off of Marketplace, and some of you might recognize what that is. Should I go with that on my 70s Chevelle? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. All right. God bless.